What's going on, guys? Zambano here, and today we're going to try a Madden challenge where we only run the football. We're going to try and win this game without ever passing. Now, the only circumstance that's a little bit different here is maybe like if there's a game-winning field goal scenario, we'll kick a field goal, but even on fourth downs, we're going to try and just run the football every play. So I picked the Dallas Cowboys because I figured who better to try this Madden challenge with, only running the ball, and I just did a random team, and that's who I got was the Falcons. So really big play there right off the bat with that big counter play. It goes for about 51 yards there for Ezekiel Elliott. And I feel like he's a little underrated in this game, and that his stats could definitely be a little bit better to reflect how good he's been in person so far, but I'm sure that as the season goes on, those stats are going to get better. So, right off the bat, like I said, we had a big play, and I was worried about if we'd be able to get any big plays only running the ball. We get a nice little chip block there on the outside, and I tried to dive for the first down, but I came up just short with Darren McFadden, so this puts us in a 3rd and 1 scenario. I give it to the fullback, and he gets just to the line, and it looks like he did enough to pick up the first down. So, right here, I'm going to try another power play, it looks like, and see if we can pick up anything while they're running that double A-gap blitz, though. And it's kind of hard to run on a team when they're just clogging all the gaps. And it seems to me like as this game goes on, they started to figure out that I was running the ball every play, and they were just bringing pressure, and they were doing a pretty good job getting edge contained. So I do have trouble at times trying to move the ball. Now, one of my main concerns, though, was, yeah, this team does have a fairly weak defense, but so do the Cowboys, and I was worried if this Cowboys defense could stop the Falcons' offense well enough for me to try and win a game when I knew I wasn't going to be able to put a lot of points on the board just running the ball. So basically, I wasn't able to get the first down there. I went for it on 4th down, and they blitzed and caught me on a toss, and so now the Falcons get the ball back, but on the very first play, we cause them to fumble, and we scoop and score and get a touchdown, and that's exactly what we needed for a game like this. A game where we're not expected to score a lot of points. We can take an early lead by pinning them down. So, yeah, we didn't score a touchdown on offense, but we did enough on offense to set our defense up for success, and they came up with the biggest play they could have come up with. So, right now, we're already at the 2-minute warning, and the reason for that is because we're running the ball so much, the clock's going to get chewed pretty quickly, which is kind of ideal now that we're up 7-0 against a high-scoring offense like the Falcons. The thought process is let's try and run as much clock down as we can so that way they get less opportunities on offense. Now you can see we're getting back-to-back flags here. They got a flag and then we're getting a flag. We're going to just try and take anything we can to get down the field because at a certain point the other team's going to know, like I said, that we're running the ball pretty much every play, and it's going to be really hard to stop us. So I decided maybe let's change things up and try and run an option play. Dak Prescott's known for having pretty good feet. He was a good running quarterback in college, even though he's not classified as a running quarterback as like a Michael Vick or someone along those lines would be. He does have some wheels, as you can see right now as he maneuvers outside of the pocket and picks up about 12 yards there on the ground. He comes up just short of the sticks, but he does exactly what I needed him to do. So now we're going to try and pick up this first down on the ground, and I wasn't quite able to get around the edge of the defender. That's one of the biggest problems I have in this game specifically. Oftentimes when I'm doing powers or I'm doing stretch plays to the outside, the defender will get a shade on my blocker just to the outside, and he kind of catches me by the shoulder, and I'm not quite able to break that tackle, which oftentimes is what would allow me to get a big play. Now, in Madden 16, I feel like I oftentimes was able to get a nice jump cut juke or a nice spin and get really big gains, and I haven't quite figured out what my go-to move is yet on the ground when rushing to be able to beat defenders, whether it's a good juke or a good spin move. I haven't found out my go-to move yet, and that's kind of messed with me a lot and probably prevented me from getting a lot of big plays, but occasionally I'll accidentally bounce into my blocker like I did that last play, or you'll see on some of these plays, before I even get an opportunity to get upfield, there's already 3 guys in the backfield, so I'm actually struggling to run the ball as well as I hoped I would, but I'm doing enough going into here to the second half that we are still up 7-0 on the scoreboard. Even though that touchdown didn't come offensively, the offense set up the possibility of making that play happen. We've done a good job on defense so far, even though you haven't seen it, of stopping the Falcons. We've gotten some 3-and-outs and really held them to pretty much no offensive productivity at all. There, again, Ezekiel Elliott's met with contact before he even gets to the line of scrimmage. That's something that's going to happen a lot, and it's kind of frustrating, honestly. I just feel like I'm not as good at running in this game as I have been in years past, but This Cowboys team has a really deep running back core, which is helpful, but right there you can see that linebacker just blitzed right up the A-gap with absolutely nobody in his way and caught me. I kind of hesitated trying to figure out where I wanted to go. There was a big hole up the middle and I wanted to go there, but that linebacker filled it so quickly. I messed up right there. I honestly thought I had held A and was trying to hand that ball off to the running back because there was a nice gap up the middle, even though there was a linebacker waiting, but he didn't hand it off and got swallowed up there on the outside. So I tried running that play again, and both the middle of the field and the outside were both kind of guarded well there, so nothing was probably going to happen on that play anyways. So we're going to try and hand it off here to Lance Dunbar to the outside. He gets stuffed easily, and now we are heading into the fourth quarter with a 7-0 lead, and it is 4th and 10. But like I said, I'm going to try and run the ball here even on these 4th downs. So Zeke wasn't really able to make any magic happen right there, ran into a lot of traffic, and we have now given them the ball on the 24-yard line. And so here we're going to show you a little bit of our defense and the Falcons' offense. Like, I know we haven't shown much of that this game. So they lining up just outside of the red zone to start this drive, and right away they get a nice little completion to the outside and put them just short of the first down, headed into a 2nd and 3 from the 17, so they are now inside of the red zone. Looks like I'm going to bring a little pressure here off the right side with Orlando Scandrick, and I just missed. I took the wrong shade of the fullback, and if I had gone to the outside instead of the inside, I probably could have gotten a nice tackle for loss, but instead they ended up getting a 6-yard gain, put themselves down just outside the 10-yard line. It's 2nd and 11 now. They had a little 1-yard loss in this last play, and I'm trying to bring some pressure. Sean Lee can't quite get there in time, and Julio Jones is going to bring the ball just inches short of the goal line. And now we're going to have to make a really big goal line stand if we don't want them to tie this football game up. They line up in a goal line formation, toss it out to Devonta Freeman, and he pretty much just walks into the end zone after avoiding a downed man in front of him. So we now have ourselves a tie football game at 7-7 with 2:58 left on the clock. Both teams have all their timeouts, and we have to just try and run this clock out. So we're going to go back to the play that worked the first time for us, that counter play, but it doesn't work this time around as there were about 3 defenders and 1 blocker, and there's not really much you could do in a scenario like that. As you can see, they're dropping both their safeties down inside the box. It's like they know I'm going to run here. So I get a really nice run up the middle, and honestly, had I been able to beat that last defender, there would have been nothing but green in front of me, and I should have been able to score, but I wasn't quite lucky enough to have that happen for me, and I got holding on top of it. So Zach Martin kind of wipes away that big play I had. I go from having a 1st and 10 to a 2nd and 22, and in a scenario like this where I'm trying to burn as much clock as I can, that's pretty much the worst case scenario for me. So right now we're going to try and just run the ball right up the gut, and bam, we get a nice hole, and it kind of brings us back to where we were at 3rd and 10. It's almost as if that last penalty had never happened. But we don't get the first down like we would have if the penalty was wiped out. So now we set ourselves up for a nice 4th and 4, and this is a huge play for us, and it looks like McFadden's just going to fall just over the first down line and give us the first down that we needed. That was huge. Couldn't have really asked for much more than that, honestly. So we're going to stick with Darren McFadden here for the next couple plays as we do a hurry up. He gets 9 yards on the next play, and he's looking really good, honestly, right now, but he's met with contact in the backfield just short of the first down marker, which sets us up for a 3rd and 2. It's still manageable, but it's not the scenario you want to be in. So I'm going to try a little quick toss to the outside, and we get the block we need, just enough for us to get the first down. Unfortunately, I did go out of bounds, but that's okay because we're trying to set ourselves up into at least field goal range, so if we need to take a game-winning field goal, we can, but hopefully we can get the touchdown instead. Darren McFadden again is met with contact pretty close to the line of scrimmage. We're having trouble actually getting blockers on men out there in open space like we did right there, and that's kind of what's causing us to not be able to get a lot of yardage. See, our fullback right there, he chipped the wrong linebacker, in my opinion. I think had he gone to the middle linebacker instead of the outside backer, we probably could have gotten more yardage. But right there was probably the biggest play of the game, honestly, other than that the strip fumble for the touchdown for our defense. We got them to jump on 4th and 4. I was really worried. We already converted one 4th and 4 in this game, but had we not converted this one, I'm not sure if we would have gotten another better opportunity to score and win this game right there. So, because we got the big play of them jumping off sides, we got to move the sticks, and we got a first down. It is now 2nd and 13 with 33 seconds left, and we only have 1 timeout left, so I need to gain a couple more yards, and Zeke gets exactly what I needed him to right there with a big truck move. He just bullies over the corner and gets us to 3rd and 4 and sets us up in field goal range. So right there, he doesn't really get a whole lot on that next run, but you can see he does have 116 yards, so this is for the game. This is the field goal that could win it for us. Dan Bailey's going to line it up from about 50 yards away, perfectly down the middle. That's all she wrote. 10-7 final score, and we were able to win the game without ever throwing a single pass. So we beat the Atlanta Falcons, we were able to slow down that high-power offense they had, and our strong rushing attack was able to get the job done for us. We never put the ball in the end zone ourselves on offense, but we did enough to set ourselves up for the win, which is really all you can ask in the sport of football. Here are some of the highlights from the game. So that was a pretty good game right there. I wish we had scored a little bit more. I wish we could have had some more big plays on offense. But it shows you that running can be effective in this game as long as you do it well. I didn't even run the ball that well, in my opinion. I feel like I could have done a significantly better job. If you guys enjoyed this video, please press like. Feel free to subscribe. I'm Zambano, and I'm out.